What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back to the Barron Podcast, number one podcast with health and wellness. I'm Anthony.
I'm Barron.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back another week.
So we got a guest.
We got a guest. So, B, since you know your guest for longer than me, why don't you give your boy an intro?
So longer than you would be. I've known this man since 90s. So we're going to say, what's that, 30 years ago? 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah, 30.
Curator of one of my favorite YouTube channels, I Love Living. It's very great to have you here. Author, removing victimizations from men just by his personal experiences are done in this book. I'm over halfway done with it. I'll tell you, we were talking earlier. It's something that I just pick up organically. And some pretty great reads. So I'm hoping to get it signed today. But yeah, by all means, guys, we gotta. You mind signing signing the copy, bro? I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome Terrance to the pod. Terrance to the pod. Welcome.
Welcome, my guy.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
My God.
Or should I say, kings? Thank you so much. I'm honored to even be here right now. A little background.
Well, first we start off. What I'll say. How was your week?
Yes.
My week. Let's see. My week has been very eventful and fun. I'm gonna say it's been fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up a little bit so we can hear you. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it's been for fun. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, Barron, I talked about your title was "I Love Living," right? Mm-hmm. So that's something that really stands out. Tell me, like, where did that name come from, or how did you get the concept of "I Love Living"?
Okay, so it's "I Love Living" with no G on the end. Okay. It's because I'm from the hood, so I just like to keep it a little slang, a little, because that's just genuine, that's just who I am, who I've always been. I do speak correct English, and I can write, and I am intelligent, but I just like the way I speak
Wait, you
naturally.
Educated?
Yes, I'm very educated.
Okay.
I educated myself.
You got an education.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sitting amongst education right now.
For sure.
But I'm just honored to be here. I'm very thankful that you guys invited me to come to the podcast. I Love Living is a mantra. It started back in 2011.
Okay.
When I first started doing YouTube, that's just something that I felt was appropriate for who I am. I smile naturally.
Yeah.
If there's any task in front of me, I do it with joy. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's enough negativity in the world. I just want to be the light. Right. That's who I am. Right. And I don't have to try to be. I just naturally gravitate toward positivity.
Right.
So your life as it is right now, it wasn't always natural, right? I mean, you had to go through some things to get to where you are now. I think a positive mindset is something that we actually arrive at. We set on a journey, right? But we arrived there. How did you get to where you are? So give us a little background about where you came from to where you are now, and a little bit about where you're going to get to the mindset that you're in now.
Okay, all right. So this book, Runway to Ascension, this book right here, it actually answers that question right there. But to give it to you in words right here in front of you, basically, I grew up in the inner city, just like a lot of us do. Mm-hmm. I felt my story was unique because my mom was only 12 years old when I was conceived, and it wasn't on purpose. She was a child, and it was a teenager, not much older than her, who she conceived with, who is my father. Right. So I basically grew up in a situation where it was babies raising a baby.
Right.
We lived with my grandmother. My mother was the eldest of her 5 siblings, so she was basically a mother already. Right. So, that kind of gave me an advantage that she that she was already taking care of younger siblings, But, of course, at that time, there's a lot of dysfunction going on. There was no man. Mm-hmm. There was no man in the house. We know what that looks like even today. So I was a victim at first.
You said a victim?
A victim at first.
Okay.
I was a victim at first.
A victim of what?
A lot of abuse in the house. Not to any fault of anybody in the house, because there was no man, there was no guidance, and then crack hit our neighborhood. Wow. It was all that stuff going on with a young mother, young kid. I'm the youngest kid of 5 of my mom's siblings. Wow. So you can imagine when I came into the world, it was like I'm a threat to them. You know,
right?
You know, like okay, who is this little guy coming to take away our sister? You know, basically. So I went through a lot of torture and teasing, and to the degree which is like when I look back on it, I can't believe that I was able to overcome it. Wow. You know, when I look back at it, you know, so it wasn't easy at first. It wasn't easy, and then come to think of it, I experienced a lot of fear and trauma. I saw a lot of fights, shootings, stabbings. I mean, I saw it all like within my household, you know, and on my block. I seen my mom fight many times in the streets. Wow. You know, with the whole neighborhood watching. I fought in the streets with the neighborhood watching. So it was a very crazy environment to grow up in. Yeah. Crazy. And it caused me to have a lot of fear, you know. And fear is what spiritually rules the kidneys. Yeah. By the time I was 11 years old, I got on the phone, joked around about having a kidney disease, and I woke up the next morning with it.
You kidding me?
I'm not kidding with you.
Like 11 years old?
Yeah, the power of the tongue.
Yep.
You know, he's no respecter of persons. You know, I was a child, but I spoke it. Wow. And I was joking on the phone. And I woke up with a kidney disease. Didn't know I had it at that moment, but I was diagnosed within a week. You know, complete kidney failure, dialysis.
What?
Yes, this is what I went through.
11 years old?
Yes,
at 11
years old. But let me tell you, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wow. So I want to go back to what you said with you had a lot of obstacles in your way, and it caused you fear. Let's fast forward to, I want to go with your mindset, because we high school. So we had a certain experience in high school. Given what you were going through at like 11 years old, now we're, let's just say, freshman, sophomore year. And thanks for those pictures too, by the way. Whole family is getting on me for those pictures.
Can we share them on the pod?
I could, but I'm not going to with the audience. Some stuff has got to be made for us. But my question was, how did you navigate? How was high school navigating that with that backstory of family?
Okay.
I'm taking you back. We're gonna work our way up forward, but
yeah, okay. So navigating high school, at that point, I would like to say I had escaped that environment. At that point, by the time I was 7th grade, I'm gonna say I manifested a stepfather.
Okay.
You know, I manifested a stepfather, and he came and he got me and my mom, and we moved out, and my sister, and we moved out of my grandmother's house. And he was a coach. So he did like coaches do, you know, make sure you play in sports, make sure your grades are passing, and that's it.
Right.
So there was no I love you, no hugs, none of that stuff. It was more, you're gonna carry a briefcase to school, you're gonna dress like the McDonald's manager. Because that's what they called me in 7th grade. It's McDonald's manager.
You actually did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He made me carry a briefcase. Little did I know, I didn't know. The reason why he did that because he knew I was smart.
Right.
I didn't know I was smart.
Wow. Right.
I didn't know. I had no idea I was even intelligent because I was just trying to get the hell up out of there. It was hard. You know, my uncle would change my answers on my homework, you know, going back to that time. So, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know I had potential. I didn't know anything. But he did. So he took me out of there. He took me into a whole new school. I only went there half the year because that's when I got the kidney disease. I was there half the year, McDonald's manager, and I got the kidney disease. You know, but,
McDonald's manager is crazy.
So just to skip back up to high school, it was because of him, James Dirk. He's in his book, Coach. Just by that influence, picking his brain and being around and left places where other people were and figuring shit out. It was getting out of my grandma's house, and that man sparked it. He sparked me to be able to be in high school and have that kind of confidence. He was standing right over me when a doctor was putting a shunt into my chest so I could get dialysis. He was standing right there telling me don't look. and it split and went into my neck, and I was screaming and screaming. I was telling them, and they didn't believe me.
Wow.
So I had to go back and X-ray it. He was like, "Man, my son," and they took it out and put it back in the right way. But he was him, man. He was hardcore, bro. He cut my cast off so I could play against Verb. I mean, like,
Fuck Bird.
he was. Man, that brother was hardcore, man. Like he didn't let me know I was that sick.
Well, met at the event?
At the luncheon,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
He didn't let me know I was that sick. I mean, I could have died. I could have seriously died on the football field, on the baseball field.
Right.
I could have died, bro. Like, he took a great risk, but it paid off with me. You know, it paid off for me. So that's why I was able to pull up as a freshman in the car, you know, and have that much confidence because I didn't know who I didn't know who I was before that, and he was showing me who I was.
Right. You didn't know that you were not that McDonald's manager. You knew you was always on. You stood on business, and it's crazy because you know. I know for a fact your mom loved you. I know for a fact your grandmother loved you, but it wasn't until, and this is why we created this podcast. It's not until you have a male figure to step in and, like you said earlier, no father was in the home when the star player. I'm not saying that the fathers are the star players of a team, but when you take a star player off of a team, everybody has to figure out different roles. No longer is your sixth string he's not sixth string anymore. He's coming off the bench. He doesn't know how to regulate his energy. Your shooting guard now has to handle the ball. So everybody has different jobs. So when you take a male figure out of the house, now the mother has to step up. Now the sister, now the grandmother has to step up. But they're only stepping up with the knowledge that they're given. It's not until, and you tell me if you agree with this, it's not until Coach Dirk came into your life where you realize, A, your full potential and the magnitude of your potential.
That's when.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's just, that's why we don't, we as men, we have to realize that we are important in this world. And if we don't take that into consideration, if we don't honor that, if we don't honor our position on the team, if we don't honor our position in life, a lot of things. Imagine if Coach Dirk never came into your life. Imagine if that would have happened. Imagine if you erase Coach Dirk from your life. My question is, what do you think, or how do you think, where do you think you would be in 2026?
Good question.
I mean, this is without me knowing about my manifestation powers, right?
Would you have known about those if it had not been for Coach Dirk?
I mean, I would have to say that if I would have, I would have, because I mean, it's this the gift of knowing is something that I cannot deny. It would happen. It would have had to happen another way. But for the sake of this conversation, if he didn't come into my life, oh my goodness, I would have been dead or in jail for sure. That's no doubt about that, 100%, because I was becoming a psychopath. I mean, I was becoming very violent.
And even given, like you said, your manifestation would have been there regardless, but it would have probably been there in a different reality.
Some evil stuff or something.
That, or, you said you'd be dead or in jail. So you would have had all of the manifestation in the world, purpose, you could have all of that in the world, but it probably would have been either dead or in jail.
Yeah, you're right.
So impact the world or impact prison. So it's just.
You mentioned the gift of knowing. Unpack that more for me. Like what is that?
So that is my next book. Now that you brought it up,
you heard it here first.
So this could mean something different for everyone because everyone is their own dimension, your own definition. I respect it. So for me, speaking only for myself, the gift of knowing is, at this point, the best way to explain it would be like having spidey sense. To be able to know 100% sure which way to go. And it comes definitely from within. I mean, it's my communication with my higher self, with God. I mean, it's the absolute definition of faith, but I don't have to believe it. I know it.
You know it.
Yeah, and that's not something I can give to anyone or share with anyone. It's only for me in my life.
Right.
I can't say, oh, I know this about you. No, that's not how it is. It's only for me.
Right.
In my direction. so I can move boldly and confidently the way I move and live life happy and love living because I'm at peace with it, you know?
So are you saying that you live life like with no doubt about anything?
No doubt.
No doubt.
No
Okay.
doubt. Like either I know it or I don't.
Okay.
Which means I don't have any beliefs either.
There's no in between.
Yeah, I don't have any beliefs either. So I don't have no religion. I don't have none of that.
Okay. You just know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How'd you discover that?
Kidney disease. Like I said, that was the best thing that ever happened to me because of that, that really made me know for sure it was me that manifested the stepfather. I knew for sure I manifested everything else around me because now I knew that I spoke it and it was so.
Right.
And I started playing around with it. That's how I got my first job at Burger King. I was 16 years old, walked through the mall. I was like, watch this, let me get this job.
Yeah.
Went over there, filled out the application. They called me within 2 hours.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit. So you said your kidney disease was the best thing that happened to you, right?
Yeah.
So kidney disease is something that's major in the U.S., right? It happens, and most people take it as like a death sentence, right? I can't come back from this. I'm gonna die. So I know you say it's the best thing that happened to you, but how was it the best thing that happened to you? Like, how did that change your life to be the best thing that ever happened to you?
Because that's when I had developed my relationship with God.
Okay.
What I call God, what I know God to be
But
for myself.
But you're 11 years old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And most 11-year-olds don't have that mindset or that capacity or that mentality. So yours had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So where did it come from?
That's what the spark was. It was that. It was in this book. I'm telling you, I was laying on the table and I had a conversation.
Okay.
There was no words.
Yeah.
There were no words at all, but it was an agreement.
Yeah.
It was basically an agreement. You do this and this will be the result of it.
Okay.
And within 7 years, that kidney disease was gone, and the doctors was praying around me like they had no idea how it happened. How is it gone? But I knew
In 7 years.
because I had the conversation and it came true. So I was like, okay, that's real.
Yeah.
It. Imagine if you looked up and you saw the sky peel back.
Right.
That's what that was.
Wow.
I was Truman. I saw it.
Yeah.
That this wasn't what it was. It wasn't what life wasn't what everybody told me it was.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, I love living. Okay, I got to love living because this is something different.
Right.
Exactly.
And then I started getting people, strangers, come up to me. God has something for you all the time. God has something for you. God just compelled me to tell you this.
Wow.
All my life.
Yeah.
But I didn't heed to it, man. I'm not perfect, man. I did the worst things. You know what I'm saying? I did the worst things with that kind of information at that young age. You don't become a good person.
I think having those experiences in life kind of show you like the reality of like what you're facing in life, right? And most people that grow up like sheltered or grow up who don't experience that, I don't think they have the opportunity to live life to its fullest because they don't know, I guess, the worst of the worst, where they came from, or what they're facing. I had a guy on a podcast a while back, and he was just really tripping about how most people don't take advantage of the opportunity that they have in life, right? It's like, I just don't get it. And I'm telling them, like, what you've been through in your life at 40 plus years old, people have not even what you went through in the first 10 years of your life, people haven't experienced in 40 years. So of course, like, the outlook is different, right? Because you came from some danger. You came from the gutter in a sense, right? And I wouldn't wish that on people, like, to come from horrible experiences, but I believe the people that did have a different outlook on life, right? They see life differently. They see it more as a gift versus it's like, I'm just going through the motions every single day, right? Because it seems to me that you see life as a gift right now, right? It's a gift that you're living it every single day.
Absolutely. But I wouldn't say everybody gets that result.
You say they do or don't.
No, I absolutely do see life as a gift.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say everybody who comes from that situation does.
Yeah. No.
A lot of people, the trauma's so tremendous, man, that if you don't get help, I mean, I've been through a lot of therapy, man. I got help, man. You know, I'm getting help right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it doesn't stop. I'm still working. I'm a work in progress. You know, I'm working. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, man. And I'm gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude.
Yeah. Do you ever, like, I guess, sit and at home or in your room or in the car, it's like you like temporarily go back to where you were when you were 11? And if you do, what feelings that great for you? If you do.
I don't never go back.
Okay. Right. And why is that?
I just it's almost like it doesn't exist except in here.
Okay.
And I only got what's good.
Yeah.
The negative stuff, I've already apologized to everybody and done the work. So I'm healed. It's like I don't have no regret, or the pain that I suffered in here is gone. Like I'm healed from all this. So this is just something to teach from or learn from or to grow from or to inspire.
I love that.
But yeah, I don't never go back.
And
if I shed
relive
tears,
that.
it's tears of gratitude.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
One thing I was listening, and I'm just listening, is I think greatness is always birthed from adversity, trauma, hurdles. Like if you haven't gone through anything, or if you haven't hurdled anything, how do you know how grateful the other side is going to be? You take it for granted. And to Anthony's point, when we were talking about how some people, they come over to the U.S., they come over to the States, and automatically they're like, this is the land of freedom, this is the land of opportunity. So they come over here, and within 6 months, they have their own business, or they're doctors, or they're on the path to become doctors or some kind of practitioner, and they look down on us Americans for squandering opportunity, wasting the advantages that are given to us. And I just think just comes from background. They had so much that they had to overcome. They went through so much to get here that now that they're here, they're not going to squander any opportunity. So how it relates to you is you went through so much from 0 to 11 years, probably more than any 0 to 11-year-old person has been through. So your outlook, I would think, had to be different. It had to be, if I almost lost my life multiple times, now I live my life to where I'm happy because not everybody is granted this life. Not everybody woke up today. Not everybody is, a lot of people just didn't wake up today. So you don't take today for granted, no matter how many days that you get above ground, because you know that at 11 years old or pre-11 years old, it could all been taken away. So now everything from here moving forward is like, should be love. And I think that's where the genesis of you and that I love living and that exuberance. Because, bro, every time I see you, you're like, you just cheesing and happy and like, he's just out here. And I'm like, I love that because people need to see that. And I genuinely feel that it's not a flex or a imposter syndrome that's living in you. I genuinely see that within you. So I say that to say you went through so much, you have no choice but to be grateful and happy and love living, because it could have all been taken away from you like that. And I think a lot of people should see that. I thought I had a question in there, but
it did spark something when you said that, because it's not just because by proxy, because, I should be grateful, because when you talked about the people that came over here, it made me think about their mindset. Oh, this is the land of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to their mindset. People here don't take advantage of opportunities because they're thinking about the government is this and we don't got this and we ain't got. They're not thinking of opportunity.
Right.
So they're not creating none. They're not exposing their spirit to none because they're thinking the other way around. So mindset was created from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I read so many books when I could see. You know what I'm saying? Now I listen to books. And the science of getting rich it makes a good point about what you. It basically is the same thing Jesus said is what you give is what you're gonna get back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you treat every single person like you treat yourself, then I don't even say that.
Right.
People don't treat themselves very well.
Right.
If you treat every person with love,
right,
then you're gonna get that back. Maybe not right there, but it's gonna come back. Nobody's word can come back void, right? So when you speak, that happened to me. I spoke it. So I use those techniques. I said, okay, this is real in my life. This is a real life experience, anecdotal for me. If I speak it, I I created. So
Good
I
or
started
bad.
speaking stuff
Right.
into existence. My wife, my children, my son's left-handed. My wife is exactly the same numbers as me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in here, man. I'm telling you, man. I started using exactly what happened for the kidney disease to create my life.
So I want you to tell them, because I read it, but I want you to tell them when you said you chose your wife, what does that look like? And don't give it all away because it's in the book. But how was your mindset and I'm using choose. How was that mindset for you? How did you choose your wife?
Okay, I manifested it for one.
Right.
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 Because it wasn't like she was standing there and I was like, okay, I'm picking that one. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, there are opportunities like that, but she had already chose me, so that's all that mattered.
Right.
I wrote a list, man. I wrote a list, and at the time, I was already going through a divorce.
Right.
My first wife, I got married super young, and this was like 6 years of not even being a husband or not really knowing what that was. There's no finger to point. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a good man yet. None of that shit. So,
Cook.
okay.
Cook.
So,
Barron curses every other. I'm surprised he hasn't cussed yet on the podcast. So usually he's just going off. So.
That should have come up, bro.
it's organic, right? It's organic. Yeah. Okay, so none of that stuff is in this book. So anyway, to get to the point, getting off the first wife, getting divorced, we still was friends after that. She was even friends with my current wife for a long time. You know what I'm saying? We were still cool. You know what I'm saying? So it was amicable in that respect.
Yeah.
But I wrote a list, and the main part of that list is that she had to have the same numbers as me. When I say numbers, I'm talking about numerology, okay?
Yeah, you got to break that down.
So when you take your birthday and you add all the numbers straight across, you'll get most likely a double-digit number, right? Sometimes you'll get a single digit, but I'm talking about for me, in my case, a double-digit number.
Like your month, day, year.
Right.
Add them all up.
Yep. Add all the numbers across, straight across, right? And you'll get a number, right? And mine adds up to 11, right?
So it's the month and the day, not the year.
Yeah, all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it. So you want me to just do mine?
Yeah.
All right. So 6/9/1976. You add 6 plus 9 plus 7 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7.
Oh, you add each digit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All the way across. Okay. So and it comes up to 38.
Okay.
So and then you break down 3 plus 8 is 11, right? And 11 is considered a master number, right? So the reason how I found this out, right? I was at a book fair.
I got to do mine.
I was at a book fair. Okay, let me tell you how I found this out. I was at a book fair. This is in the book, all right? I was at a book fair, and I was working as the marketing director for Whole Foods Market. This is when they had no commercials. Nobody knew who they was and none of that stuff. I was at a book fair at UCLA, and the lady I was working with, she had this book in her hand, right? By Dan Millman, another book, man. I'm telling you, man, if you want to find stuff, it's in books, I'm telling you. So the book is called The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman, right? Which I have him, a signed copy by him, okay? Anyway, not that means anything. So she said, Terrence, you're interesting. What's your birthday? I told her, and then she said, here, read these 5 pages. It's only 5 pages, man.
The book? Or
No, the part for me, for each one of us.
Right.
It's like 5 pages. And when I read that, man, it was like one of those moments you see in a movie where your life flashes in front of you.
Bro.
It was like that, and it was instant forgiveness. It was like what the Bible's supposed to do. I'm telling you. So that was Jesus. It was a Jesus moment for me. It was instant forgiveness for everything. I knew exactly why my life was the way it was. Why my mom was young. I knew why my dad. I knew exactly everything about my life in that instant. It was crazy.
After those 5 pages.
The 5 pages, bro.
That's crazy.
That's what it did for me. So that's what I was hoping my book could do for somebody. Just something in there could do what it did for me. That, it changed my life, bro. I'm telling you, like, it made me say, okay, I want my wife to have the same numbers as me. It made me want to be in order. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know those words at the time. This is 20-some years ago. I didn't know those words. I just was going with obedient to my spirit, man. It was just, when something is right, you just know. That's that knowing stuff, bro. You just know when God talks to you, man, it's no denying, dude.
Yep.
But people ask me how. That's how, man. It's no denying it. And that's how you just know, because you practice listening to God. You practice, and it's not religious.
Spiritual.
This is not religious, man. You just practice listening by being obedient, and it's not going to never tell you to do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Never. But it will tell you to do something that you don't want to do because you're uncomfortable with it.
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody will tell you this who has, who's obedient to God is going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you, bro. I'm just telling you without no religion, you know what I'm saying? So that, and practicing that over all these years is the knowing. That's what that is. It's complete discernment. So anyways, that book made me write the list for my wife. And I've been married for 21 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both our kids, Neo and Trinity from the Matrix. That's another Jesus. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, it's so much knowledge that will come to you in your path, in your lane, when you decide to love yourself and listen to your spirit. Like, it's know them.
Nah.
If you have any unforgiveness, that's the first point. There's a book, man. If you have any unforgiveness, that's the bottom floor. That's the foundation of everything. If you holding any unforgiveness, that's a block to whatever you want.
Wow.
Whether you want to believe it or not, this is true for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a block, man. Once I made it right with, man, I'm an uncle again, bro. Like, my family came together after this. I mean, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the blessings that have come from this.
Those are the best. Love
it, bro.
Man.
Yep.
I love it.
That's what it's for, though. Like, when you didn't put pen to paper for monetary value. You wanted to be impactful. You wanted the same feeling, like you said, from those 5 pages.
Yep.
You wanted to reach out, and you wanted those 5 pages and more to impact and affect other people. So, kudos to you. Kudos to that. The book is great.
Thank you, brother. My sister, man. That's the main thing.
I remember you was telling me, talk about that really quick.
Sister.
Your sister saw the book or read the book and got you guys back on the
came
right
over,
path.
asked me to sign it. Like, she, we had fell out for a long time, man. But since this, it brought us together, man. Like, I talk to her every day now, man. I'm an uncle to my nephew and my niece now. I'm like, my mom is always saying how happy she is now that all of her kids can be together, man. Like,
It's a compound
forgiveness.
effect.
That's what I'm saying. Forgiveness, bro. Anything that's going on with some family, with anybody, man, forgive it, bro.
Yep.
Let me stop real quick. So, I just want to make sure that we, as a community, as men, that we don't look past or brush past this moment of emotion, right? Because as men, that's something that I think we're scared of, in a sense, right? It's something that we want to just look over. But your transparency, your vulnerability is, for me, is a gift, right? Because it's not what we see from men. It's not, right? We don't see tears, and I'll tell you that we don't see it so much that this podcast has no tissue around for you. So no one comes here.
I didn't expect it.
Comes here and cries,
tears,
right?
bro.
But this is what it's about. It's like we want other men to know that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay, and I know there are tears of joy.
Yeah.
I know it's joy, not sadness.
I'm telling
right?
you, man.
So
Heck yeah.
and I just want it to be an okay moment, and I wanted to just recognize that moment real quick before we moved on. So you talking about your sister?
Yeah, that's why I shared this here. I mean, it's the gratitude, man.
Imagine if the numbers weren't what they were, and that's all you got from that book was a relationship with your sister.
That's all
That would have been. Because look what came from that. Like you said, like the relationship with you and your sister got back on track, and from that, it was birthed with. Now you're an uncle to your nephew. From there, it birthed your mother. Got both of her kids together. The family is reunited again. The family is stronger. So, with just that alone, if you didn't sell not one copy, it was well worth it. And that's why we put pen to paper. That's why we write what we write, because that's going to be around forever. Like, you wrote it. I don't know how long ago you wrote it.
15 years ago.
15 years ago. 15 years ago. I knew it was up there, but I just wasn't sure the number.
Man, I wrote this.
But that was, and it's going to be around 15 more plus years. Somebody's going to catch it 15 years from now, and they're going to pick it up, and it's going to change their lives. And you will probably be 3 or 4 books down the line. But this is your first, right?
Yeah.
That's your baby. You never forget your first. You never forget your baby. So 15 years from now, somebody's going to come back and be like, man, I just read Runway to Ascension, bro. Changed my life. So it's going to be like 15 years from now. So just be prepared.
Yeah.
I don't speak just out of bullshit. Be prepared for 15, maybe 20 years from now. Somebody's going to purchase that book and they're going to be amazed like it was 2 months ago. So just be prepared. You're going to be further down the line in writing-wise, but you're always going to come back to your first. So I just want you to be prepared. I'm preparing you now. So when 15 years come down the line, hit me up and tell me, B, you was right. It may be 7 years, it may be 8, it may be 24 years, but
within that time,
it's going to be, it's going to be some years down the line, bro. And I'm telling you, as clear as I can see the book, and as clear as we're sitting here, it's going to impact somebody further, way down the line, and just be prepared. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
and probably even after you've transitioned, because I've heard that your mission has to be so big it cannot be completed in your lifetime.
Right.
So it's like this book is going to help someone even after you transition, right? Even after you go to your promotion. But yeah, man, it's definitely a blessing. I mean, and 15 years is a very, very long time, but I think it needed that time, right? I mean, that was the time that you needed to actually fulfill your goal.
Absolutely.
Right? And
it did.
I've in my past, I've struggled with like timing, right? I'm not where I need to be at a certain age or some point, right? But I learned it's like you're exactly where you need to be, right? Like
You were just talking.
I was gonna say
the lessons that you've learned is the lessons that you learned like to be here. So I don't really subscribe to like the time thing anymore. I mean, if you bullshit around, then yeah, but you won't always be how you planned your life 15, 20, 30 years ago, right? You won't. So, and I tell myself, I tell my kids, like, you know what? Right now, you're exactly where you need to be. It may not be where you want to be, but it's where you need to be. So I was thinking a few minutes back. So take me through like your routine, like every day, from time you wake up, your morning routine.
Because this is gonna be interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so take us through your morning routine.
All right, let me preface it why. Okay? The reason why, okay, because like I said, I did go through some struggles, man. The last 9 years have been heaven, okay, but before that, I went through some shit. So
had to go through hell to get to heaven.
right. Yeah. So this is about 10 years ago, maybe. I just got my kids back from foster care. Just me.
Really?
I got them back, and I was living.
Trini and Neil.
Trini and Neil.
Okay.
I just got them back from foster care, and I was living in Compton on Grandy.
Okay.
If you know anything about Grandy, it's right next to the Compton Airport, and it's cripped out for real.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like war zone, like militarized for real. Like they organized. Respect to them, respect. So I was living at the last spot on the block, all the way at the cul-de-sac. They at the dead end, right? So I had to build some relationships to stay there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was good for me. I was good. I have never had a problem. Okay, so let me say that. I was living there, and I had to be motivated, man. What was the question again?
Your morning routine, like your routine.
Okay.
To
Yeah.
get
Oh, yeah. I had to be motivated, and so I had to give my children something to look at after my huge failure, right? And I saw on YouTube a video that said successful people wake up at 5 a.m. Okay. So I'm prefacing it with that. Okay. That was almost 10 years ago. 10 years ago. My morning routine now is this: every day, not negotiable unless time does not permit, but I still get it done. Okay. Before I go to bed, I get it done. 20, 30 minutes of yoga, gratitude, foam rolling, right? I say gratitude because at that time I could be playing a frequency. I could be listening to something that's putting me in alignment with who I am, which is grateful. While I'm doing this stretching, okay? I'm just totally me by myself early in the morning. So from there, I'm gonna get on the treadmill for an hour, get 3 mile walk in. Then from there, I'm gonna go to the backyard and put my feet on the grass for 20 minutes.
grounding.
And that's how I start my day. That's my morning routine.
And that's every day.
Yeah, every day.
Okay.
I'm doing that every day, non-negotiable. So I end up with 20,000 steps usually because that first walking is not even a workout. That's just part of my morning routine.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you said you just got your kids back. Me like years ago, right? I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because they're adults now. Okay. And so how did your kids? I mean, have they seen? I guess I'll say Black Return, like the new you, and then how they responded to you as the man you are now.
Okay. So we did go through lots of family therapy.
Of course, yeah.
So I was able to legit learn from them how they saw me.
Okay.
And I believe as a man being able to see, when I say they, including my wife, even though I had filed for divorce before that, as a man being able to understand how to listen,
Okay.
that like gave me superpowers. Like I'm already super empathetic and intuitive, but actually learning how to communicate, learning how to, so to speak, fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, that
How do they see you?
that taught me to listen to them and hear them out and earn their respect.
Right.
It was devastating them being in foster care. You know, a lot of times going to court and going down into this little glass room and having to say goodbye to them.
Yeah.
That was devastating. And having to keep myself up together and not cry and all that. That was hard. But so I earned their respect. So how do they see me now is they see me as a person who they can come to that they can trust with everything.
So how they see you back then, and the reason I ask is because I think I think at certain points as men we like avoid certain conversations, avoid certain actions, and really avoid asking the hard questions, even harder hearing the answers to the hard questions, right? So when you said that you had to listen to see how they saw you, how did they see you back then? What kind of man did they see you as back then? Because that's something that even as a man now, that even though I'm doing my best with my kids, I'm scared to hit that question, right? That's a hard question for me to face. Like, how do you see me now, kids? So how do they see you?
Well, back then I would say they saw me as they were scared. They were scared because they thought their parents was perfect.
Oh wow, okay.
This is the first time you find your mom and dad are not perfect. That feeling. So it was an expression of basically that, which is normal, but it was under extreme circumstances being in therapy. You know what I'm saying? After I had committed, basically made a mistake enough to them to be put in foster care. You know what I'm saying? So they were just basically scared. They were scared for me.
Wow.
That's how they saw me. Like they felt they needed to make sure I was okay. That's the kind of kids they are.
Did you feel weak in that moment when they had to take care of you?
Hell yeah. I mean,
okay.
heck yeah. I felt like I'm supposed to be the one taking care of y'all.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, it gave me such respect and admiration for them.
Right.
Knowing that it's no age limit to this shit. Like, love is not strictly for someone who's emotionally intelligent. That was something from children. That was a kind of emotional intelligence that we could aspire to be as adults. Like, I was blown away. I was blown away that they cared about me that much.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that that was the expression was, you know, they want me to get better.
Yeah.
Cause they saw my potential. Like, it was like, oh, okay, lit a fire.
Yeah.
It lit a fire. Like, okay.
Reason I asked this because it happened to me a while back. So I went through a divorce, and
You went through a divorce?
Shut up, Barron. Go back and watch the podcast.
Damn, where the hell I been?
His name is Bear now. It's Bear, not Barron. Call him Bear.
Let's not do that.
But anyway, so and during that time, you know, I lost a lot mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I lost a lot, and I kind of went through a depression, right? Because I mean, I was 20 years in, and I lost business, money, cars, place to stay. So I lost so much, and it was a real surreal moment that all my kids came together and helped me out financially, made sure that I ate, made sure that I had a car to drive, would come pick me up. No, Dad, you don't come, you don't come stay here with us, right? And that was hard for me as a man, but to your point, it showed me the character that they are. It showed me that, you know, I had something to do with this, and it showed me like the love and maturity, right? So that's why I asked, because I was there where I had to lean on them, but I'm like, man, I should be the one doing this, but no. You had us our whole life. Now let's take care of you for this small amount of time, because we know you're gonna come back. You know, we know, right? But until then, we got you.
Right.
So I experienced that, and it really feels good to hear another man like have the same thing, right? Because it's something that's hard, really hard. Don't say it. Be quiet, Barron. It's something that's difficult to experience as a man. Having
podcast over. Little podcast levity.
Have your kids step up, but I'm totally blessed in that, and looking back, I don't think I'll have it any other way. And yeah, they just stepped up, and they came through for a dad. I mean, they did. So yeah, I love me more for that.
It's amazing. It's amazing how we can see our kids come together and do something, because we as men, we automatically think like, oh, I'm supposed to take care of you, or I'm supposed to provide for you, or I'm supposed to. And I think that's what we were talking about too earlier. Like, yes, we're going to take care. Yes, we're going to sacrifice. Yes, we're going to provide in a sense. But what about the time when we can't? Or what about the time when we just need a moment to lay the proverbial cape down? You'll be surprised how many times, your kids, they don't want dad to work harder. If dad is on his deathbed or is in the hospital, they don't want dad to work harder or work less. They could care less about that. They want more time. So that's the one thing, A, you can't get back, and B, you have to realize that our impact as leaders in our house, it goes way further than providing. It goes way further than sacrificing. It's being, as Anthony would say, vulnerable. When you hear vulnerable, men think, oh, I'm not going to be weak. You're not going to use that for ammunition against me later. So I'm not going to be, I don't like the word vulnerable. I'm not going to be vulnerable. But be present. How about you be present in your kid's life, so that in that moment you allow your kids to love on you, to lift you up, to support you. I seen an image of this one father who was, it was a picture of a father. He looked worn out. He looked tired. And in his mind, it was like he had it was like bills, insurance, providing as far as food. All of these things were triggering in his house, and he was just about to kill over. And behind him was all of his kids, and they all had one hand in his back. Just one. All they had was one hand in his back, and they were propping him up. And they didn't say anything. They were just there as a kickstand, so to speak. And I was like, you never know who you're going to need. And especially if it's your tribe, you never know who you're going to need when you can't stand on your own too, when you need support, when you just need that, because life is going to do what it does, and it's going to be effective as much as it can. And you can either let it take you out, or you can, you can take a knee. You can, it can knock you down to one knee, but it's not going to knock you out. That's the thing. And that's why it's important that you have, people around you, whether it's family, whether it's the right friend or friends, the right group or groups, to help support you, because you never know when you're going to need it. And sometimes you don't even know you need it until it's been said,
Right.
You're like, damn, I've been in this mess for so long that it's normal. I've been struggling and surviving for so long that it's normal. Like, I don't know how to thrive, because thriving is weird to me and my nervous system. So, our kids are the ones that keep us grounded. It keeps us present in the moment. I'm always surprised when my kids want to hang out with me. Always, always. But I'm like, that's what we cultivated. That's what we cultivated. So it's like, I have, me and Sean, we can go out, we can hang out, and we get along. Especially now that he's old now, so we can drink and all that stuff. And he's not a big drinker, but you're like, all right, let's try this, let's try that. But to see that, and then to see him in a setting where he's amongst other men, and I can just sit back and watch and hear, I'm like, okay, yeah, I had a hand in that.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of hand in that. So it makes us feel proud of what we've invested in our kids, what we poured in our kids, and it gives us the battery in our back to keep it pushing and keep on pouring and keep on, investing in them. It looks different. I don't know if you guys know, you don't invest in your kids the same way when they were 8 as if they were when they were 20, 25, 26. You invest in them differently, and I think it's incumbent upon us to realize what they need at that particular level in their life, and more importantly, we need them more as they get older. We need them more because time is going like this, and then pretty soon they will be taking care of us. And so I always tell my daughter, keep all that energy when she's fussing and all worried about me. I'm like, keep all that energy for when you really need to, because I don't want you to use all that energy now, and then by the time I really need you, you like, you know what, Dad, I did it for you when you was in your 40s and 50s, and now that you in your 80s and 90s, I don't want to. I'm cool. I don't want to. No, save all that energy for when I need you. Right. So, and I always tell her that, like, don't overexert yourself. I'm good. Save all that smoke. But our kids are our legacy. Our daughters are great, but they are our legacy. They are our, when we leave here, the question I always ask myself is, how are your kids going to navigate life once you're gone? How are they going to navigate life? Or is life going to kick them in the head and they're going to retreat because that's all they know? Or are you going to show them and teach them how to fight life? And, life is going to do what it needs to do. You damn sure better do what you need to do. So that's what I tell my son, and that's what I'm working with my daughter, who is the oldest. It's crazy, but
there's this quote that I heard to your point, and it said, part of a dad's role is to teach the ones that he can't live without to when they live without him, right? And to your point, it's like, what are they going to do after we're gone, right? And so much you mentioned about vulnerability. We don't want to be vulnerable, as guys. Some of us are there, most are not. But I know with me is that even though I never expressed what I was going through to my kids verbally, never expressed it, they saw it through my life. Mm-hmm. So my life was being vulnerable versus my words, right? So I don't think that that the words that you say will always speak. It's like where's the fruit? You know, how's
Right.
your life? Right? Okay. You saying you good, Dad, but hey, you know, from what I see, you're not good, bro. You know, so yeah, yeah. Our kids are our legacy. Our kids are super important, and our kids are, and this reminds me of our first event over in Riverside.
I remember that.
You were speaking and you were talking about your parents, right?
That was the first time I did that in public.
Really?
Yep.
And you got emotional.
Yep.
Right? First thing that happened was what?
Sean
got up from the back, went up there like, I got you. I got you. Right? Wow. And that's what it's about. Right? And that was the first time I've ever seen that with a father and son. First time ever. Right? And I'm like, wow, okay. So that's a testament to what you poured into your son.
Yeah.
Right? All the I mean, everything that you had or that you knew, you taught to your son, right? And it shows me every time he's here. I mean, you and him are more like homeboys versus father and son, right? And I see it. It's like, okay, you know what? You know, this is a true. This is what legacy means, right? So yeah, man. You know,
he surprised me. Like when you said that he and I are like homeboys. Like I was the last thing I thought of.
Really?
Yeah, the very last thing I thought of when he was in high school and he had friends. You know, he had his boys that he middle school played ball with and all of that stuff. And for one project they asked him in high school was like, "Who's your best friend?" And he was like, "That's my dad's my best friend." Wow. He vocally said it, and I was like, "Wow. Really? Like you got all these people?" He was like, "Yeah," and like, yeah. And then he started running down things and reasons why. I thought it was just we were bonding and teaching me how to play 2K, or I'm able to. There was a time where I used to.
He taught you how to play 2K?
No. But for the sake of it, I'm not gonna cap though. I don't play 2K with him anymore.
Why? Barron's word. Why?
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Because I'm ultra competitive. I really hate to lose, and I know that I can't beat him anymore.
Oh wow!
So I have a picture that I beat him like 100 and something to like 60 something. But that was that's probably my last victory. I don't play 2K. I don't play no video games with him anymore. Just because the nuances of it all, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. But, he taught me that, like, I used to play shit on easy. Like, 'cause I didn't play for competitiveness. I played to just like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and zone out for a little bit. And I want to win, so I put the shit on easy. I want to win. But I want to win my way. And I remember I was sitting down, I was playing it, and I couldn't do what I normally did. And he's like, "Yeah, I just played it, and it's set to like pro level." I'm like, "Man, cut this off. I don't want to play it no more." He taught me that how you gonna get better at something if you always have it easy.
Whoa, bars.
Right? That was his pen. But yeah, he was in high school when he told me that. Wow. So now I play it on pro. I don't play it on rookie no more. Out the mouth of babes, right? And we just have to tune our ears to listen because we are genetically predisposed. We should be listening more than we talk. Like we have two ears, one mouth. Our ears are right on the other side of our brain so that we can articulate the messages that we hear. And you put it in your brain, you decipher it, and then you keep the important parts. Same thing you did with your past. You kept the important parts. The other stuff, you already moved on from that. I've done the work. So if I've done the work, why would I go back? You're not going to go back to Whole Foods. You've done the work already. So why would I go back? Like I don't go back. So when you've done the work, you have to keep pressing forward and moving forward because now what's the next thing? Then what's the next thing? What am I going to learn tomorrow that I didn't learn today? What am I going to learn next week that I didn't learn this week? So it's important that we learn to listen when we're walking through this plane of earth and we're walking around. It's important that we listen because you can learn. My mom used to say you can learn anything from a jackass to a genius. Right. You can learn anything. True. It's just a matter of what are you willing to take? What are you willing to decipher? What are you willing to let sizzle in your spirit, keep, and then disregard the rest? It's just simple and plain. So we just gotta, like, that stuck with me. Obviously, it was in high school when he told me that, like, don't playing stuff on easy. Easy's for losers. If you want it easy, if it comes to you easy, you're not gonna appreciate it. You know, if you have to work for it, if you have to win a game by the skin of your teeth, that game is worth more than winning a game by 63 points. Sure. You know, so that was just a life lesson he taught me off a video game. So, and you know, it's a good thing to have that. So I would say listen to your kids because you see where they are. You see where they are mentally. You see where they are in their spirit. And then you see what their intuition looks like. When you see that, then you can build they can build their reality based off of that. But you have to nurture, you have to cultivate all of those senses for your kids so they can build their reality. You know? Yeah,
absolutely.
So to ask you a question, what is one thing? Not one thing. What is something that you're most proud of that people don't know about?
Good question.
Take your time.
That when my kids were babies, I changed all the diapers.
Okay. Yeah.
Was it as hard as you thought?
Pause.
Nothing as hard as I think.
Pause, for real. Well, was it as intricate as you thought? I gotta realize I gotta watch my words with you. Because you take them very literally. So yeah.
No. What I mean by that is everything is only as hard as you think.
Right, I know. That's why I said so. As intricate as you thought.
Say what, changing diapers?
Yeah.
Car seats and stuff. It was natural to me.
Car seats is crazy.
Had me when she was 13, so I had a sister by the time I was 6 years old, and I was changing her.
Oh wow.
So yeah, you was training early.
Prepared.
Yeah.
You know?
I know for me, I thought diapers was gonna be a little harder than it actually was, and once I actually did it. Changing diapers, it was super simple. I was able to both legs up, one hand, and change everything. Yeah, one hand, I was a genius. It was that hair doing that hair. That was an interesting part for me.
Yeah, I didn't master the hair part. But
I tried. I mastered the puff. I mastered the
too.
one puff.
that was it.
Yep. I mastered the one puff, and then I tried to master the two puffs, and then they were all crooked. So I was like, okay, baby, I'm never sending you to school like that again. My bad.
But the diaper thing was just the premise to set up. The main thing I'm proud of is that I honor my wife, man. Like there was a time where I did not. You know what I'm saying? My greatest repentance is that. Like I never could be with just one woman. But now that's the only woman I can even think about. Like I honor and what's true is for me is the more I honor her, the more I get blessed, bro. Mm-hmm. The more I make it about her. Like I always tell her that was mine is yours, and what's yours is yours. I always tell her that. Like I never.
Oh, she definitely gonna be happy then.
Yeah, I always tell her that. Like because one thing is, this is not a critique on all women, but the only woman that I've ever known that's good with money is my mama. Mm-hmm. And I've always tried to show my wife the way with finances, but she just I don't know. But now, since after our 20th year, something clicked. And she sat down with me. We started having financial literacy meetings. And man, she done got her good credit and she saved money and she's contributing and her whole life is different. And now she could tell our children, I listened to your father. Yeah. I listened to him and this is how we have this life. And I could say the same thing. And now they know that the shit we got into because we didn't listen to each other.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's the greatest thing is being obedient in my role as a husband and father. And knowing that the sacrifice that I do make is not even a sacrifice because I keep getting rewarded for it. Like I keep getting rewarded. It's ridiculous. Like I keep getting blessed, man. Like every time I turn around, it's another blessing, man. And I couldn't have imagined my life being this great. And I drive a Honda, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of gratitude I have. When people diss Honda, but I love my car, man. I love the fact that it's reliable and it's clean and it looks nice to me. Like I don't need nothing else. Like I'm cool. Like so
it's yours.
It's mine. Exactly.
It's yours.
It's mine.
And
you're grateful too.
Yep.
I'm just grateful, bro. Like,
and gratitude bleeds more blessings. Yeah.
For real.
Yep.
Science of getting rich, man. I'm telling you.
Yep. Because if you can't handle the small stuff, the small blessings, how are you going to handle the big blessings, you know? So it's all preparations. When you are grateful each step of the way, it just compounds effect into greater greatness. And people say, well, it is. Greatness is subjective. It's like what's great to me may not be great to somebody else. What's great to you might not be great to me. But that's why it's yours. That's why it's your reality. That's why it's yours. And one thing you said I always pay attention to is, like you said, it's good to me. It's great for me.
Right.
Who can tell you that it's not?
Right.
You know, who can tell you that? I hate when people tell you, well, when you ask somebody's opinion and they're like, well, the reality of the situation. Hold on, that's not my reality. Like,
It's 8 billion reality.
you know, the reality, like 1 in 3. What is it? 1 in 3 men, 1 in 3 black men are going to jail or could go to jail. That's not my reality.
Right.
So keep that reality to
I
yourself.
did go to jail, though.
Yeah, did, but are going.
So is that stat right? Did you go?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's right. Damn.
So we're basing then, if that's the case, then what we're basing it on is we dictate reality for everybody.
Yeah.
That's not true.
We don't.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're just 3 brothers, fathers up here, just talking shit and being grateful. And our reality is
You say 1 out of 3? Did you say that?
1 out of 3. 1 out of 3 black men, will go to jail at some point in their life.
Yeah.
And just because it may be true here, I can line up 3 black men right now and
That haven't been.
have it.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Absolutely.
So I could debunk that theory right there.
I don't think that's an accurate stat in my opinion.
Nah.
Because I think a lot of stats are put out there to instill fear or to make a certain demographic live in lack, right? Live in sacrifice. Live in this is what Fox News said. Well, if Fox News said it, then it's
gotta be true.
This is gotta be true. This is my life, and that's why the media is so powerful. In that a lot of people listen to every single word and believe every single word and hang on that, right? And they don't know that most of these clips are cut up and to edit to what they want you to see. So I learned from a mentor years ago, about television, right? And I mean, what's the word? Tell a vision. Like, wow, it's like they're telling us what they want us to know. And when I heard that, I'm like, you know what? I watch certain shows, but like the news stuff, you know what? I'm cool because I want to look for myself and make my own determination, not let you tell me how to think, right? And it seems like that the way you live your life is that you're not attached to the outcome of anything, right? It's like I'm not. This is what it is. The outcome, whatever happens, I'm not attached to that.
It's crazy. You
Right?
say that.
Is that true?
Absolutely. I always tell people who get into this kind of conversation, it's like the Martin Luther King's part. Like, he had a dream, but he wasn't going to see it,
Yeah.
He knew he wasn't going to see it.
Yeah.
So anything I do, I'm present in that right there.
Yeah.
Like, so however happens after that, it's not on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I have peace that way. And if there's good residuals, they come back, of course it's going to feel good. If there's bad, of course I'm going to deal with it how I deal with it, you know?
But you're not like attached to it. It doesn't like change or alter your path or your life.
No.
Right.
No, the sky has been peeled back for me, man.
Yeah.
So I'm weird.
Yeah. No, you're not weird. You're not weird. It's I think you get to a certain level of enlightenment in life, and I heard, I don't know if it's true, that only a small percentage of people get to the enlightened stage. Very, very, very small percentage. But once they're there and the sky is pulled back, life looks different for them. They show up different. They move different, right? And before we go, we get comments on our podcast, a lot from you, so thank you. I appreciate that. But we get comments, but and also people watch the podcast, don't comment, but they're listening, they're thinking, you know what, man, all that sounds good for Terrance, but Terrance hasn't lived my life. Terrance hasn't been through what I've been through, right? right?
Absolutely.
Talk to that guy for me, please.
They're 100% right.
Yeah.
But there's no argument. What is there to say to that person?
Nothing. Okay.
But, I mean, I don't need to argue with anyone about anything.
Not really argue, but thinking that he can't get to the point where life looks different in a sense.
Is that where his question is leading when he says I can't?
Yes.
I can't.
Yes.
All right. First of all, saying I can't. You owe me 10 push-ups. That's the first thing. Nah, but I mean, I would have to really talk to that person, and see where the can'ts are coming from.
Wow. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But I think when I self-disclose, it kind of like allows them to see that I have been through some shit.
Right.
And then they can kind of let their guard down or not.
Okay.
You know, so that's to be the whole purpose of my vulnerability, using it as a strength of self-disclosing some real shit, because then it'll open the door to somebody else being genuine.
Right.
Because you can't get nowhere if you're not being honest, man. You can't build an empire on a lie. It's gonna crumble. I mean,
eventually,
it's just gonna get caught up eventually. It's the truth about everything, man. All of us, you know what I'm saying? So I would that's what I would first do, is self-disclose. And if they were open with me to tell me anything about them, I would just try to help them find the gratitude in something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if they are I have a cousin that just, no matter what you say, he wants to say something that's negative. And I laugh. He's funny to me. Like, that shit is funny. He's like, if I'm Neo, he's Agent Smith. Like, it's perfect. And I laugh. He's hilarious. I'm not trying to influence him in no kind of way. I just be myself, which gives him material. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I might be a goofball to him. So what? I don't care. I'm in my space. And I'm not judging him for being in his. You know what I'm saying? So the person, I would say to them, just, get a morning routine. You know what I mean? Start by being disciplined about something. When you keep your word to yourself, that's like saying, let there be light. And the light come on. That's the beginning of yourself, is being true to you. It ain't about what nobody says about nothing you have done. You have to keep your own word to you.
Right.
You know, that's where I would start, because forgiving yourself is hard.
Yeah.
It takes many years.
I was about to say, it's a process.
It is, man. So I can't even say start with forgiving yourself. But I would say start with being disciplined with yourself. Start with keeping your word about something that means something to you no matter what. And once you build on doing that, then other opportunities will manifest in your reality that's going to give you answers. Yeah. The answer is going to come to you, just for you. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Master the internal world, and the external world will follow. You know?
I started one thing that I had to be honest with myself about is in certain periods of life, I've made choices, right? And some choices were good, some choices were not good, right? And in the business world, I've made some choices that were not good, and in personal too. But one thing that I did is, like, no matter what happened in business, if I was going through something challenging with someone, the easiest thing for you to do is that when it texts you, ignore them, right? And I used to do that. I'm like, you know what? No matter what I'm going through, I'm going to respond to every single text, no matter what the energy is, right? And that's something that I had to commit to, because back in the day, I'm like, man, well, you know what? This is not done. It may take me an hour or 2 hours, but I always respond, no matter what their response is going to be when they respond, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Because I can avoid things, right? I can not respond. I can avoid things because I have a fear of what they're thinking about me, right? But it's my thought, not theirs, right?
Right, absolutely.
They just want to hear from me, right? So I'm making up all these stories about, you know what, this is what's going on, but no, it's not. Just take your time and then respond, because that shows that you have character, and shows them that, even when things are not going good, he still cares, right? So that's something that I changed over the last few years. Man, amazing podcast. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Anything for some closing?
Appreciate it, man.
You're never too fly to pray. Continue to pray, and don't let fear stop you, because we know where fear comes from, and we know who it doesn't come from, most importantly. Right. So, scared of what? Fearful of what? Yeah. So just never too fly to pray.
Yeah. I was told one time that God does not lie. God does not put fear in you. So if someone lied to you and you're scared, that did not come from God. That came from the devil. So move forward.
Yep.
So guys, thanks for being here. Again, T, thanks for being here, man. You
for having
blessed
me,
us
brother.
so
I
much.
appreciate
Thank
being
you so
here,
much.
man. Thank
you gotta
you.
come back.
All right, man. I'll come back. We can talk about the flat earth.
We'll say that for the podcast.
Man. Yeah.
Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Someone you know needs to hear this podcast, so please
Yes.
like, share, subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Peace.